Hello and welcome to the Political Fight Back Begins. Today's day is Tuesday the 19th of May 2026, the year of serious politics, and the way we win is to get Great Britain on the blockchain because all legal and political influence stem from economic power. I have with me today the amazing Robin Hood of the Realm of England. Looking forward to this. Let's get into it.
We have before us the opportunity to forge a new world order.
We will be looking at what contact tracing looks like in the New World Order.
Not only fight for Ukraine, we fight for this new world order.
And the leader of the opposition and the deep state.
This is exactly what this government wants. It's communism 101.
For the new world order.
Right then, Robin Hood, are you there?
I am, and thank you very much for having me back so soon.
Anytime, mate, anytime. What are we talking about today?
Jurisdictions and judges' jurisdictions, especially in this new statutory legal system that nobody understands, not even the judge.
Well, the judge surely must know that he's corrupt, being under his bar guild oath rather than his public oath.
Correct. But what you've got to understand is that because they're bar guild, right, and this is where the court's now a court and they can't deny it, and so is Parliament, is that the judges are bar guild. The barrister is bar guild. The solicitor is bar guild.
Yeah.
So before we go anywhere, we've now got a serious conflict of interest. Because they're all representing the bar guild, which is only a commercial enterprise. It has no right to practice law in England, none, or Wales, or Scotland, or Northern Ireland. Absolutely none. It's a breach of the Monopolies Act 1623. And this is why they brought in now that these courts are no longer courts. They're tribunal centres in commerce.
Cheeky buggers.
And they're all under what? What is needed paramountly for a bar guild operative, secret agent to work in a tribunal?
Well, a licence.
A licence, which is supplied by the council, or councillors. The licensing committee.
And they should know that everything that they're doing is repugnant to the Constitution. So that's
correct. But they don't care. They've removed the Constitution. We're now upon the commerce of water. And this is what people have been struggling to get their heads round. That we are no longer under the superior law of the land. We are now by default and illegal conversion put to and owned by the state, the crown. That's Charles III, the head slave master. Parliament, its whipping dogs, the courts, and the police force, and the councils. Because we are now conducted as the default setting as state-owned, by registration, perpetual debtors with no rights, slaves. That's how they've done it. We've got the legal systems bridge. It's under the 1992 Act, Section 3. Not going to give it away today. If you want to know more, join the Realm. But it's there. That concludes the judicial bridge from man to slave. The ID1 forms to ID5 forms in the Land Registries Act. The conversion of the man to the debt vessel, the debt commercial person.
And it's the SMF 16 officer that's meant to prevent that?
It certainly is. The FCA, because all of these corporations now, even the government, statutory corporation, and that is what they are, right, are all under the FCA. Because they're all conducting commerce of some kind. All of them. Every government department, including the Prime Minister's office. Now, when did we get to a stage where even Parliament is now a commercial entity?
Well, it takes a slow infiltration of individuals willing to be corrupt and bribed and go along with this shit.
Correct. And basically, all members of council, all the members of the councillor and MPs are all corporate enterprises. They're all in their all caps name. You can see it when you vote. Within a box, within a box, within a box.
Well, you can see it, even see it
all
in
caps.
You can see it in the House of Commons, you know, when they're saying Mr. Speaker, Mr. this, Mr. that.
Yep. All Admiralty speak. All legalese speak. It's absolutely nonsense. Our Parliament has now been fully corrupted, and the Crown has been fully corrupted. They've set this about now, and they've brought in all of these agents, Roman characters, literally to commit fraud and deception against us. Your property, by default, because it's a taxable rating system, that's how they classify it, right? And it's there in legislation that unless you rebut that, your property is deemed a commercial entity, a rateable, valuable asset. And now you're the PSC of the corporation that you know nothing about. You're also being converted by the translitigation of the Roman character under the Sestavi trust jurisdiction. There's only 5 jurisdictions. People need to know these. And this is what they're multiplying across from.
What are they? Land, air, water, commerce, and something else or something?
Well, it's trust. It's trust. The judges are acting as trustees. They're not judges, they're trustees. The banking trustees, to ensure that they can access the state's, not yours, it's the state's trust. Because who set it up? The state did. By how did they set it up? And now that's what we understand. The child is born and becomes the live birth notification form 1 to 3. Then the placenta's born, re-registration under birth certificate. That died, the placenta dies within 5 to 10 days. We've already established that. Now you are the commercial person, the commercial body, the commercial estate, because it's got your DNA on it. Sections of this are sent, blood is sent, everything is sent, and then it's dealt with. And again, another fraudulent way, which we've had loads of midwives come out and say it's completely repugnant, and yes, it's true. And the forms on the computer will not allow them to move forward until the registration of the placenta.
Oof. I mean, when you think how long this has been going on for, the administration process involved in this is absolutely massive.
It's huge. This is why the government now employs 46% of the state people. And this is why they can get away with it, that you are now working for the state.
And they're all
you, as a state, we are all economic scumbags.
But they're all economically incentivized by the printing of fiat currency from nothing.
Correct. Your registration plate on the back of your car, I've mentioned this before, in times of old was white and black at the front, black and white at the back, because that stated privacy. It was private. Now we've got an Admiralty plate on, gold and black. It's registered under commerce. You're no longer travelling at the King's Peace. You are now driving in commerce because you're driving a commerce vehicle.
Yeah, so the one at the front is white and black. The one at the back is yellow and black. And yellow, just like in the same way they've got blue and yellow for Admiralty flags. What's the indication of the yellow number plate at the back?
It's yellow and black. Same thing. Yellow and blue, yellow and black. It's check. So it's in a box.
So
it's an elongated box. It's a coffin.
Should that be
so by yellow and black, it should be black on white. So what you should have is a black background that reflects, right, and then white that reflects. It's that iridescent reflection. So, just for argument's sake, say we've got a registration plate of R2CVU, right? That's it. So on the thing, it should be white and black exactly as they are. On the back, it should reverse. It should be black on white. So you should have a black background with white lettering. And they changed that so that we could then become under commercial travelling, not travelling at common law under the King's peace. Because there are private roads. They're not the state-owned roads. They're our roads. It's not his parliament, as they now tell us. It's our parliament. It's our representatives, not the King's. The King is an office. This is what they've done. We've already, between me and you and other ones, we've put out the exact wording of his coronation, where it states he was a liege lord with men sworn to him. And they're all the inner city of London men, the merchants, the king, the judges, the councillors, the MPs, the police, under attestation to the corporate king himself, the head of state, who is now conducting every man, woman and child into slavery by servitude and arbitrary authority of the birth certificate, the bank registration of your bank account, council tax, driving licence, passport, all commercial personas. End of.
And do you think
it's not you?
Do you think William's wife, Catherine, found this out when she sent that little bit of paper to Derren Brown saying help?
I think she found out a lot more than that, to be honest. And I think it terrified her. I honestly think it terrified the state of what's going on in our country, because it's not ours anymore. We're not in a country. We're in a state. State has no border. We are in a state with 191 other states, which are all controlled by who? The 13 families and the Vatican. I mean, they've just told us in, I don't know in how many hundreds of years, William will be the first supposedly true King of England. Because his family goes back 6 or 7 generations. But unfortunately for them, they've just now admitted that they knew of the fraud by bringing in a foreign prince, which breaches not only the Bill of Rights, the coronation oath, but it also breaks the rules of kingship, because the country never surrendered. Only surrendered once, and that was to William of Orange, when Richard, whatever it was, ran to the safety of France.
Yeah, I think
there wasn't an arrow find.
So James II.
Sorry, James. Yeah, James II ran. Not one arrow fired, right? And that was why, because the Vatican wanted to take over England, and James was going to allow the papal bull to come in. And William said, absolutely no way. And it's outlawed in England that any papal bull is allowed to exist. It's outlawed. So what's the Bar Guild?
Oh, that's a papal bull, is it?
It's a papal bull. It's one of their arms, enforcing papal bull codes, legislation, statutory legal system. Where's lawful gone?
So
Statutory, it's not law. It's a code. It's a rule.
So is the Vatican pretending to be Catholic?
Of course it is. It's not Catholic. It's a cult.
Satanic cult.
For want of a better word, it's a cult. Rome never fall. The Vatican and the religion of Catholics is nothing more than a cult. You can see it. Who set up Islam? The Catholics.
Yeah, I heard that.
Right? It's there. It's literally all there. What do Catholics agree with? Right? And what they've done is they've now literally stopped. And look at how the Catholic Church is slowly but surely going downhill.
I think it's already at the bottom, mate.
Well, no, but look what it's come from. The great religion. What was at the front of every war before we got mechanized? The cross. The Catholic Church. Look what they did to their own knights, the Templars. Look what they did to them. They butchered them. They hung, drawn, and quartered them. They wiped them out, or all but.
And was that a double cross?
Of course it was. Look at your history. The Templars were wiped out by the King of France and King of Spain by the Vatican order. Because they got too rich, too powerful, and the Vatican had to borrow money off them. And the Vatican thought, hang on a minute, we should have all that money. We should have all that power. So what did they do? They seized them. They chopped them up, killed them, executed, after they went into every land to bring the word of God. Or, as we now know, the Vatican cabal.
So do you think it was
and
this
they can turn on their own.
Do you think it was this lot that was controlling the Roman Empire at the time?
Well, let's look at the facts. The Roman Empire did what? Reverted into a bank and church. Right? So it also declared itself neutral.
Yeah,
by taking religious order. So you can't come after us. And there's this place in Italy which comes under Swiss law. What?
Really? What place is that?
The Vatican.
I thought the Vatican was its own country, sort of had its own laws, Vatican laws.
Swiss.
Oh, because the Swiss are like independent nation, so they just follow the same.
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
Copycats.
Yes, and that's all they did. They became a neutral, so you can't attack us. Every police officer in the Vatican itself, it comes under Swiss. Did you not watch Da Vinci Code? It's all Swiss.
Right, got ya. Makes sense.
Right? And this is how they managed to keep the lie going for so long. Who's got all the gold? Why is it in the Vatican? Why has Trump gone over there and took 640 plane labs up to what we know? Why was there no gold left in Fort Knox? Why was it empty?
Yeah, that was basically orchestrated by the Rockefellers.
Yeah. And it's all been done because they've taken away the value of money. It's their currency, as you know. You go on. Off you go on the currency market. It's all fraud.
Yeah, just a blatant securities fraud. The biggest deception the world has ever known. And people still can't figure it out.
And every government is a part of it. Every government. So what does that tell us?
They're all in on it?
Correct. Mm-hmm. So if every parliament and every government, 192 governments that use the fiat system, currency, and they have to have the gold to back that money up. And what haven't they got? true money. It's in the banking laws of 1888 and 1848. If you're going to use the fiat system, you must have the proper money of gold and silver to back every pound.
Yep, and then they've
haven't got
subverted
it.
that into fractional reserve, which is another way of saying quantitative easing, basically.
Correct. And you know more about this stuff than I do. But this is where the judges now, who pays the judges?
Well, the banks, they come from the Treasury, really.
No. Well, no, the government, which comes from the bankers, which comes from the thing. Where do they have their pensions?
Well,
Government.
Yeah.
Right? So how is that separate and how is that not biased? Because they now work for the masters and in breach of the separation of powers. Because there have to be a clear division. So the judges are now getting paid to assist the state. Their pensions depend upon it. And if they don't do anything, if they do something that the state doesn't like, what happens to those judges?
They'll disappear.
They're dismissed.
Yep.
Now, it is rumoured that after the 2002 case, Judge Law, Bingham and Stein, Scott,
Metric Martyrs.
the Metric Martyrs, how long did they last after that ruling? And then the Supreme Court ruling at the appeal that no, superior statutes are common law, constitutional law statutes.
Oh, good
They
question.
cannot be expressed. What happened to them?
Yeah, what did happen to them?
They all got sacked.
Really?
They're all removed.
By who?
The government. What do you think Lord Irma's there to do? Remove any judge that breaks protocol. Look what happened to that magistrate.
Who's Lord Hermer?
Starmer's best friend.
Gee.
What's his title? He's the government minister for authority over judges. How's that independent? How's that a separation of powers?
Oh, there we go. So
there isn't any.
All comes down to the control of finance at the end.
And it comes down to the control of the parliament or the privilege committees behind parliament. We've all heard it. We've all had it. Judges are not independent. They have no independent powers, and they're running from what is only can be classified as designated power of Parliament. Parliament is now claiming it has a national crown. No, it doesn't. Go off, prove it.
When did they first
go
claim
take
that?
A long walk of. They've been claiming it for a long while now, but they've not stated it as fact. It's in the small print. It's right. What they're hoping is that the people don't understand what the imperial crown is, and they're going to accept the national crown.
Got ya.
What did Charles stood there and openly said he's going to give royal assent? He can't give royal assent. He's not a royal for a start off. And what crown was he wearing? The Vatican crown. It's a Papa Bull. That's George. I think it's George III's crown that was seized by the Vatican and taken into the inner city of London. It's bad. It's outlawed from this country. But now we're in a commercial setting, hook, line and sinker, and we are now commercial persons, commercial bodies, commercial estates, set by default of legislation, an entrapment into a perpetual debtor while removing our creditor status. Because who do they owe this 2.4 trillion to?
Well, they're just the Treasury.
No, it's me and you. No, it's me and you.
Ah, right, got you. Yeah.
We're the creditors. We're the creditors of the state. And all that is unclaimed because we're now through the IRS that they state for a fact that we aren't, but we are, because there are now people claiming they are through the IRS in it from England.
But we're still
against monies.
We're still creditors in a system that they created.
You step outside it through trust. How can a judge be a trustee, a judge, a non-biased individual to uphold law when he's upholding code? It's all fraud. The judge is now in deception. The judge is in entrapment. The judge is in constructive fraud, constructive treason by aiding and abetting a foreign state takeover.
Oof, deep stuff.
Right? All the judges are done. All of them. Because they get paid from the state. Can't do that. Not independent. Their pensions are paid by the state. Can't do that. When you see a victim surcharge, who gets it? The judge. Where's the victim?
Yeah, there isn't one.
There isn't one. So the judge has now committed fraud. The HMCTS staff have committed fraud, deception, by claiming what? There's a victim. There is no victim.
So how do we
There's a corporate victim. Well, we've got to bring them all into standing superior court and bring in the UN, the ECHR and the Geneva Convention. It's as simple as that.
Did they not create those?
We've got them. No, because don't forget, these existed after World Wars. The ECHR is nonsense. It's basically there to stop and to take over from constitutional law, and it can't do it. It's a foreign power that's brought it in because it's European, right? Well, what does it say? No Papa Bull, no foreign under Primaneri Act, no foreign laws. None. ECHR is a foreign law. It's a foreign code. It's what Europe runs on. This is why they won't get rid of it, because they want to try and align us back in with Europe. Well, you can't do that. You could never do that. You couldn't even do it in 72. That's why the Parliament attempted to remove things it couldn't remove, and it attempted to pervert constitutional order, customs and norms of England and Wales. Can't do that. It's treason. And they were told by Lord Kilmore they couldn't do it. You've read the letter. Every judge now is a foreign state agent under bar control.
It's going to take people power and the political will to change all this shit.
Well, listen, could you imagine those, 50,000, 3 million that turned up at the Restore Brit UK, whatever it was.
United Kingdom.
At the weekend. Yeah, United Kingdom's a corporation, you bunch of lunatics.
Well, yeah. They're also, they're also, pointing out problems, which is fair enough, but they're also distracting people away from the real problem, which is the likes of Palantir's introduction of the surveillance state. Don't look over there.
Yeah, well, this is what they're doing. Not being awful, they're all walking while these idiots are now putting 6G towers up in every school to irradiate our children.
Yeah.
What are you doing about that then, boys and girls? Nothing. Because you're too busy going on a fucking march to create nothing. More wealth for London. Well done. Stated this last time. You're a bunch of idiots. Start writing to the governors and the and you're wanting all the safety tests, everything done, because they haven't done any.
Yep, that's true. There's none. No safety tests at all.
None. Nope. So now we're allowing our kids to be radiated. Oh, by the way, every child's now going to have facial recognition for school. They're going to have the fingerprints taken.
Yeah, do you know, I didn't know this, right? But they've been taking fingerprints of kids in school, like literally for the last 20 years. I don't think the parents know about it. They've been using fingerprints to pay for the school dinners. It's outrageous, mate.
It's theft of biometrics.
It is.
Of God-given biometrics, the creators' biometrics. Right? It's not yours. It's not the schools. And what are they doing with it? They're selling it. Blair Wright has been paid $275 million
which they printed from nothing
to make this happen.
Yeah.
To make this happen. Right? All the biometrics of our children are not to be sold. How many violations do we need to have where biometrics have been and data has been stolen from government departments? How many? How many have already been stolen? Millions upon millions upon millions. How many of you know that you can claim for the data breach and the loss and demand that all your data be removed immediately? Because it's not safe. And who's making money off of it? The government.
Well, again, it's not money though, is it? It's all fraud.
Well, it makes no difference if it's money. They're using that to aid in and abet in criminal enterprises.
Well, the currency they're using is criminal itself, so they're using...
No, exactly. So they're using criminal upon criminal upon criminal.
Yeah.
Bringing in the boat people.
Yep.
Human trafficking under UN Charter. That's at section 40, 51, 52, 53. It's a crime against humanity. Stop paying. Stop paying your taxes. When are you going to down tools, people? Because you're all a bunch of lunatics as far as I'm concerned. You're putting your children's health at risk, at serious risk now. They're going after your children to make it normalised that your facial recognition is their property. No, it's not. There's hundreds of cases in the UN, in the ECHR, which have upheld it. The Supreme Court has upheld in 2020
they're ignoring
facial recognition.
They're ignoring the
Supreme
Court.
Court. Yeah, they're ignoring the ECHR. Who are these people to ignore superior laws and courts? And it just shows you how dumb we've got. Well, and I'm not being nasty about that. They are literally telling us it's raining while stood over the top of us and taking a tinkle.
Yep. By
ignoring superior statutes, superior laws, and superior rulings. The High Court cannot overrule a superior court ruling from 2020 that was upholding a ruling from 2008 against the United Kingdom government, which we've put up to prove it's true.
I guess the thing is, though, most people just want to live in the private. You know, raise the kids.
You can't live in the private. You can't. Whoa! You can't raise your kids. They're not yours. You've registered them children. You become the parenter.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Is like we've been fooled into thinking that, you know, by ordering society in the way that they've suggested, we will be able to live in peace and in private because they'll organise things that way. But what we haven't realised is that we know that now, but you know that was the initial story, wasn't it? And people believed it.
Yeah.
And it worked for a while before they've subverted it.
Yeah, but there is no private anymore. Every asset that we own belongs to the state because you're the debtor. You're the perpetual debtor. End of. Job done. You've registered. So you've got a driving license. You've got a bank account. And they're telling you as a fact, in deception and lies, that this doesn't mean what you think it means. Well, yeah, it does, because here's the legislation that says it. They're your own words. Now eat crow. But the judges are ignoring it because then they bring in the jurisdiction, which nobody knows about, or very few people know about, which is what? The jurisdiction of the SegWit Trust. It's got its own jurisdiction.
Got ya.
So now they can use the trust jurisdiction to deceive you even more. Because what are you classified under presumption? Whatever the state wants to do. Because you have a driving license, so you now become a willing participant.
So if you got into a position of power, like potentially Rupert Lowe might hopefully get in there, what would he need to do in order to change things?
Ban every act of parliament right up until 1701, and including the Act of Settlement. Because the Act of Settlement was forced. Nothing can be forced. Scotland didn't want it. It was the Pope that wanted it to pay off so that England could pay off the debts of Scotland. And as it was later confirmed, there was no debt owed. None.
I thought
and that's also in Lord Kilmore's letter.
I thought the Act of Settlement stated that every request for payment must carry an invoice. Surely that's a good one to keep in there.
No, what you do is, instead of a bill, it must be an invoice. If it's for you to pay, it must be invoiced. It must be done under contract. How can we not contract with people, right? We're contracting now. We've agreed to do this. That's a contract of sorts.
Surely
we've had a meeting of the minds.
Surely the best thing would be just to get rid of the use of maritime commercial law, full stop.
No, get rid of every act, and maritime commercial law stays on water, but it has to be ratified. It's never been ratified. That's why they're using it. So they can get away with it.
And the definition
it's never
of
been ratified. The definition of ratification is it's been accepted by all, and it hasn't. And it's there in Lord Mansfield's own handwriting in 1758, I believe it is, that Lord Mansfield started to train 50 Bar Guild barristers on the means of Admiralty maritime law, which was basically a merger of common law and commercial law upon the waters. That if somebody had an accident, they can make a claim. And this is what the Zong massacre was all about, where the shipping company threw overboard, I think it was 50 slaves, because of whatever they stated. And Lord Mansfield stated that was fine because it was commodity and it was nothing more than throwing 50 horses overboard. He did raise a few concerns, but still ruled that there could be a claim made against the captain and the shipping company. Because the slaves were now commodity. And by that ruling alone, and by the registration of us into commercial debtors, we're slaves. By compelled performance under arbitrary authority, which is what the police are doing. They're not listening to you. They don't hear you. They don't give a shit.
Yes,
they literally lock you up, throw away the key until they're ordered by their superiors to take you to court.
Yeah, so rather than commodities, the slaves would have been viewed as stock and cargo.
Yes, well, that's why we come under the Goods Act, because we are now goods and cargo of the state by state registration. So therefore, as a good or what is it, we become a commodity because somebody's bought us, somebody owns us.
Or it's just a product, a bit of cargo, but like the stock is what they were.
Yep.
That you
Hence
have.
the word sheeple, cattle, chattel. People under chattel of the state. There you go.
Yeah.
We are state-owned property through registration, the birth certificate, the car licensing, the registration of our vehicles. Not vehicles.
Yeah, I got it. So how do you see? I mean, obviously, I can see my own way out of this. How do you see it? And I can only see one way out of it.
We sue the judges. We bring in the judges because as soon as you bring in the judges, you put in a appeal, and now you bring a counterclaim against the judge. No jurisdiction proven because they didn't. No signature. No signature. Mandated. Senior Courts Act. CPR Rule 73. Magistrates Court Act. Section 125. 1980. Right? Mandated signatures. No judge signs anything because he can't.
And where would you
commerce.
Where would you bring the action against the judge?
Well, you've got to bring it to the High Court, but then you bring in the ICC and the ECHR courts and Geneva Convention, demanding now that we have a full war crimes court for every judge, every politician, and every police officer, every councillor, every council staff member. I'm just following orders. Didn't work for the Nazis. Let's see if it works for these. The judges already know. There's a book out there that basically stated in 1958, one of the top judges in England said, right, there's no point arguing. We now have to enforce the law from where we are. They knew it were all wrong. So the separation of powers, what they could have used to devolve Parliament, they didn't. They buckled under and accepted parliamentary rule. We can't do that. That's why there are three circles of separation of powers. Judicial, the law of the land, the law of the constitutional monarchy with our protections. Simple as that. Parliament, our representatives, to conduct the business of state only, with other states, not interfere in our lives. That's arbitrary authority. Back off out of our lives. Then you've got the crown authority of the imperial crown of the people. We petition the king to dissolve parliament. He dissolves parliament for being whatever we state it is. That's how it works. Now, they've all crossed into one. The king now controls the whole scenario because he now claims he's the king. And he's not the king of anything. He's a liege lord with all these corrupt officials now sworn to him under attestation.
Yeah.
What a lot of nonsense. Right? What a load of nonsense. The attestation is what? It's an oath to a corporation. And they've literally confirmed that as well. All statutory rules and laws need to have a contract under Admiralty law.
An attestation. An attestation isn't even really an oath, though, is it?
Well, it's what they've now classified. Well, it's a statement, but it's what they've now classified as the new oath because people don't want to swear on the Holy Gospel. Well, if you don't want to swear on the Holy Gospel, the Bible, whatever it is, you're not fit for the job because you have to be under the Creator and swear allegiance to uphold the laws of God, not man. That's why they brought in the attestation.
But when you attest to something, it's just a statement saying that you believe something to be true.
Yep.
But it's not an affidavit of it's not an affidavit of truth. It's just
No,
literally
it's not.
just a statement. It means nothing.
Yeah, it's a
really.
statement. Again, it's what's a promise? Promise can be broken.
Absolutely.
An attestation can be broken.
Yeah.
Right? Means nothing. Whereas it's a breach of the maxim of law. A man who offers no oath cannot speak, because he's a man not to be trusted. That's a common law maxim.
That's great. Yeah, loving that.
Right? It's absolutely nonsense. Every one of our... Look at what's happened. Look at this is why they don't show the old TV series as much anymore. Look at the old police cars, all white, with their county badge on. Constable at law. Now look at them. All blue and yellow. Admiralty checkered flag.
Not even checkered anymore, mate. Even I've noticed.
Honestly, it's so repugnant. It's untrue. And this is now they're actually stating that this is an experiment. It's in part of their what is it that we're going to experiment this and see if people cotton on to it. So we are being experimented on without our consent or approval. The king has no rights. He's a liege lord, and he is now the arbitrary of slavery. End of. He's the authority of the slavery that's going on. Right? There's no argument to it. He's the head of state. He's the one through the Crown Office. And if you look on the birth certificate, what's it say? Crown copyright.
Yeah.
Who's the Crown Office work for? Charles,
yeah.
liege lord. Right? So all roads lead back to him. Who's he working for? The Vatican. Because he's a foreign prince. They've even stated it. They've even stated it on the TV now. That William B will be the proper full king of England for hundreds of years. And they all thought we'd missed it. This is why I watch certain bits of the news, because they let things slip.
So how many years does the king have to have had lineage back to England for?
I think it's 6 or 7.
Okay, so we can go back to what? I don't know who was before Albert, to be honest.
Well, exactly.
Are they all descendants of Henry VIII?
No, because they're not, are they? Because they're York. The House of York. This is why they steal the other house's authority. So who was the Prince of York?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, they tried to give that title to Andrew, didn't they?
Yeah, same as Prince of Sussex.
Right.
They're all kingdoms, or what were kingdoms in Alfred's time. They're all separate kingdoms. Northumberland, kingdom. Yorkshire, kingdom.
Got ya. Yeah, it's yeah. It's
So they're given. Yeah, it's if you've got to go backwards to come forwards, and that's what I've always stated within the law. We've got 54 volumes of constitutional written law, with hundreds and hundreds of documents of what we classified as unwritten laws, which is case law.
Yeah.
And they're ignoring case law. They're ignoring every superior statute in the book, because we as debtors do not have rights.
Yeah, I mean,
we as corporate persons do not have voices. Where's the piece of paper?
This whole thing about having a king and bloodline and all that. I mean, people blatantly overlook, the what do they call when James III fled, the Glorious Revolution. Yeah, then you've got, William the Conqueror, and Mary coming, William and Mary, and then creating the Bill of Rights.
Yeah, but who was Mary? But who was Mary?
Was that not his wife?
James's daughter. That was James's daughter.
Really? Oh my God.
And she wasn't even in line for the throne. It was her older brother. But because William conquered it, they wanted him to marry Mary to attach the bloodlines.
Right. I mean, it just sounds to me like, it sounds to me like you can make anything up to try and justify it.
Well, of course, and this is what they're doing. You see, William actually came here as the last conquering king, William of Orange. But if you look at his lineage, because he's German, right, he was removed from the Prince Orange or King Orange, right, in Germany, because he wouldn't take the knee to Rome, wouldn't take the knee to Vatican, hated the Vatican. That's why in the Bill of Rights and the coronation oath and everything, and the Forestry Commission, everything that they did, there was no outlawed forever was Papa Bulls, legislation, codes. And the Parliament of the Merchants, since once he died, started to take over. And then they brought in, because let's not forget, Queen Mary at that time, right, shouldn't have been queen because she had no real claim to the throne, but had conjunctivitis in her eyes, couldn't read. So she had a Churchill read to her. She nearly beheaded Churchill's wife, and it was only his daughter Sarah that then was allowed to read to her all the bills and all the things that she would put a name to.
So when you
because
say
they kept lying to her.
Who's Churchill? It's not Winston.
No, well, obviously it's not Winston, but it's the Churchill family.
Right.
And this is how long they go back. And what's the Churchill family?
Apart from a bunch of traitors.
They're all, well, not being awful, mate, but look at their lineage. They're all classified as who? Holy Roman Empire princes.
Oh, is that what they are? No way.
That's what they are, Catholics.
Ugh.
They're secret Catholics.
Right, and what's stupid is that Catholicism is considered to be a branch of Christianity.
Yep. There you go. And it's all in black and white. It's all documented. We've done the research. We've done it all. This is what I say. We've got to look back before we come forward and understand how legislation now has taken over the law. Because it's under Papa Bull. It's under Vatican order. It's under license. A license, and as we've stated quite categorically, to give somebody a license is to give somebody a license to commit a crime that would not normally be accepted. Under legalese. It's absolutely disgusting, mate.
Yeah, so I'm just reading here under this Acts of Union thing. They're saying England, Scotland and Ireland shared a monarch for more than 100 years since the union of the crowns in 1603, when King James VI of Scotland inherited the English and Irish thrones from his cousin twice removed. And that was Elizabeth I.
Yep. And look what happened. They were rioting in the streets of Scotland. And they were beaten. And that's where the Jacobites came in. So they did not want to be part of England.
Who are the Jacobites?
Yes.
Who are
That's
they?
how it all started. Well, look what happened in the wars between England and Scotland. And this is all stemming from that the Scottish did not want it. It was forced on them. The Scottish wanted to be a separate nation, for Christ's sake. We've been together now, what, 400 years? And they're still screaming, we want to be independent. We beat you in how many wars? And you're still screaming foul play. Well, no, you had to surrender. Who paid all your debts off to the Vatican? We did.
Well, the thing is, though, didn't they have that referendum about Scotland being wanting to be independent, and the people voted against it?
Yes. And they're still rattling on about it. Same as the same people that are still rattling on about rejoining Europe.
Yeah.
Europe is out. We now have to send everybody back that entered this country 10 years illegally. 10, 15 years. Get out. All of you back. Don't care what you're trying to claim. Out. You were here illegally, you're still illegal. Just because you became a British citizen, state slave, is not our problem. The state does not have a border. The continent does. The landmass does. And this is what people have forgotten. The state has no borders. So when you've got 192 Vatican states all using fiat currency, is what?
Well, it's fraud, mate.
Securities fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Can the Vatican prove it's got, or England prove it's got enough gold and silver if every man and woman child went in and went, boom, that's his money, we want our gold back. We want our true money back. And no, the answer to that is no. Charles III thinks our wealth is his piggy bank. Well, think again, because we're all coming back for it. The people need to wake up to the reality of what they've done and stop treating this as a freedom movement. It's not a freedom movement. We're not fighting for freedom. We're fighting for the true reality of our existence as the sovereign creditors that's been stolen and ripped away while we were sleeping. What's the maxim of law? He who sleeps on his rights loses his rights. We weren't asleep. We were lulled by deception and fraud.
Deception, fraud, and ignorance. Oof.
Yeah. And this is what the upper classes, middle classes, or politicians class have done. Don't worry about it. No. We'll look after you. We'll take care of it. And so they've stripped a bit more here. Oof. They haven't noticed that. We'll take a bit more of this, and we'll change that. That's all they've done over a massive of time. And it's not the politicians per se, it's the people behind the politicians that are doing this.
Yeah.
But we've already heard on numerous occasions from multiple different sources, you walk into a cabinet meeting and you're giving your script.
Yeah.
Who the hell is running this country?
Yeah.
Who the hell is running it? Because it's certainly not the judges, it's certainly not the politicians, it's certainly not the police.
Yeah.
So who's running it? And we're all left in ignorance and stupidity.
Yeah. Well, that actually reminds me of. Are you familiar with Woodrow Wilson's quote?
Yep.
Yeah, about commerce and who's running the country.
Yeah, I'm. To be fair, I've got quite a few of Woodrow Wilson's. I think he was a very astute young man in his day.
Yeah, we'll tell you what.
Which quote are you referring to?
Well, I'll just read it here, because it sort of links into what we're talking about. So in his book, I think it was in The New Freedom, he wrote, "Some of the biggest men in the United States in the field of commerce and manufacture are afraid of somebody. They are afraid of something. They know that there is a power somewhere so organized, so subtle, so watchful, so interlocked, so complete, so pervasive that they had better not speak above their breath when they speak in condemnation of it." Oof. Oh, that is sick, and that was from his book, The New Freedom, that he wrote in 1913. Oof.
That shows you how long this nonsense has been going on. There can be no escape this time, because they got a rule. They brought in a rule that you can arrest us, you can do whatever, but you can't hurt us. Well, hell's bells, no. You've done enough damage this time. You were defeated in 1882 when you brought in the Municipals Act, doing exactly the same thing, exactly the same theft and fraud. You stole public assets. You stole public wealth for your own benefit. The sale of public buildings is not a right of you. It's owned by us. Therefore, you will ask us. But as we are the perpetual debtor, the commerce person, we don't have any rights anymore. We don't own anything anymore. We're not the public. We are the debtor. Nothing more. We are here for their pleasure. We are here to service them.
What do we do about this this power somewhere that's so organised, so subtle, so watchful, so interlocked, so complete, so pervasive? What do we do about that?
We find it. What, I mean, not being awful. Everybody goes, oh, blah, 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 blah. But there are certain movements out there that are claiming to know what is going off. It's above our pay grade. You know that.
Yeah.
Toshi. So, we just have to follow our reality, our truth. And the truth is that we've been had. We've been had over like kippers since 1947. And it kicked in from 1949 when they stole the crown off the king in 1949. It's in there. It's in the New Zealand Commonwealth document.
Yeah.
Yeah. They took the crown off George V, Elizabeth II's father, to allow Ireland and India to remain within the Commonwealth, but not under the Crown authority, to give them independence. What? And that is what Crown Parliament took into Parliament. Parliament had no authority to take that crown into Parliament, that they now call the National Crown, and it's there. And it also is in the London Agreement, the War on Sovereignty. And it was, Europe was terrified of England's sovereignty because it could never be defeated. So this is why the commercial game, the registration. What happened also in 1953, the Births and Deaths Register, obligation to the state. The British Act, 1948, straight after the Second World War, obligation to the state. The state was being created from 1948. The new state order, not the old state order, the new state order, which is what we've got today. The deception, the fraud, and the lies. The complete and utter deceit and entrapment started in 48 by Churchill. No coincidence there, is there? Who held the meeting in 53? Churchill. Who brought in the Births and Deaths Act? Churchill.
People have got a lot to learn, mate. Probably a good time to wrap it up. We've been going for just over an hour.
Yep. Whatever you feel, what have you. But my last thing is this. Just a quick shout out for the WF weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Truth Movement weekend. Just outside of Wrexham.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Where there's family groups going, tickets are going really, really well, which I'm pleased for the organisers. But we need the final push, guys. We've only got a couple of months. This is going to be an absolutely epic freedom speeches, freedom walks, and show you how the system has been gained against us. There's going to be family fun. There's all sorts of entertainment going off for the kids as well. It's not just one of these you know, people turning up, yap, yap, yap in your faces. You're going to have a choice of speakers to go see. If you want to do the family thing, there's going to be food. There's going to be, like I say, children's entertainers there all weekend long. They're going to have their own tent, their own, all the security's there. So it's going to be a proper family fun event. It's not just about, you know, listening to boring old farts speak. You know, it's about getting away with your family and enjoying yourselves. There's plenty to do. There's loads of stuff around and nearby.
Yeah, it's on a farm as well. Open
you know,
space, kids can play.
Yeah, you know, proper open spaces. There's sheep in the fields, in the other fields. My God, there's so much wildlife running about. It's an absolute joy to see.
It is, yeah.
And you know, I know you're speaking there. Yes, we've visited it, haven't we, mate? And just give it a quick check out and everything. It looks absolutely stunning.
Yeah, the
views are superb.
Yep,
views are superb. We were lucky to be there on the Blood Moon night, weren't we?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah,
that was.
It was awesome, absolutely awesome. So all we can do is recommend it. Hope that people will come along and enjoy the weekend and enjoy the speakers. Because that's what this is about. It's about giving you the knowledge, giving you the kids the knowledge, and enjoying family time.
Absolutely.
And taking care of one another. That's it. Back to the basics of reality.
Fantastic. Right, we'll leave it there. That was amazing, Robin Hood. Thanks for your time. We'll just do the intro. So as everyone, hope you're listening and enjoyed it. So as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.
My main interest in all this is to preserve our democratic institutions. I want to retain the right to vote, the right to speak freely, and the right to write. If we maintain these basic principles, our democracy is safe. No dictatorship can exist with suffrage, freedom of speech and press.